everybody. Welcome to Setta's Place. How's everybody doing? What y'all up to? Write in the comments what you doing. I came today to show you some of my sleep sacks that I've made out of the Bernat blanket yarn, because that's my favorite yarn. I just love it. In case there's people who don't know what it is, I just got this one that I bought in my yarn haul. I will show to people just in case they don't know what Bernat blanket yarn is. And it comes in these big things. I think they have smaller ones too, but the main ones come like this in a variety of colors. Not enough colors, but anyway, that's another topic in a second. This is 100% polyester, and let's see, and it's like chenille type yarn style, chenille. And then, let me see, it's 10.5 ounces, 300 grams. It's this one. And that's normally what I get when I buy my blanket yarn. And let's see, and it recommends a size 8mm hook, which is what I use. I recommend actually to go bigger if you can, 9 or 10, especially if you're new to this yarn. Using this, a bigger the hook the better until you get used to it, and if you want to go down to 8 you can. Because when I first started using this, I did not like it because I am a tight crocheter, and you can't do tight unless you're purposely doing it for the pattern and it needs to be tight fitted or something. But it just regular use of this is you have to be loose and let it flow, or it will frustrate you. But it doesn't take long to get used to it. It didn't for me at all. Once I figured out, because I was trying to use like a 5.5 or 6mm, and so like I was like, oh, the bigger needles. That's what it was, because I didn't read the label. I'll be like me, do as I say, not what I did. So use the big needle and try it out, and I think you'll like it. And the projects work up faster because it's bigger yarn, and so that helps too. And let me see, what else can I tell you? Well, I'll just show you what I've made. I've made several sleep sacks, and I'll give you a little backstory first. Where I work, I'm a nanny. Well, actually, I was a nanny, but now I'm just an official run-arounder. I'll tell you in a minute. The family I work for here in Arlington, I've been with them for about 15 years, almost, off and on. And when I first started, I was an official nanny. I mean, I was like lived with them. I did nanny things. And so I've grown up with all the kids. And their first child, he was about 5 months old when I started. And he is coming up on 16 now. So I feel old. So anyway, I had made a sleep sack, a mermaid tail, and I had showed their mother, and so she was like, and she asked her daughter if she wanted something, but her daughter loves horses, so I ended up doing a series, for her. I did a horse, and then I'll show you that and some others. And so that's how I got started doing this. Was first I started with that mermaid tail, which when I made that, that's when I started really using this yarn, because it came out so nice, and I loved it. I couldn't believe I made it. And that was for someone else. It was an acquisition. I was taking my mother to therapy, and the lady that was in there, because I had my crochet with me in the waiting room, and we started talking about crochet and what I make. And her daughter, his birthday was coming up, and she wanted the mermaid tail, and I was like, well, I can do that. So she asked me to make one, so that's what I did. I went on, of course, on my YouTube tutorials, and I found the crochet crowd, of course, with Mikey, and he had the mermaid tail that made it was out of Bernat blanket yarn. And so I just started practicing that pattern with him, and so I got the yarn that was for the actual project. So I made it up, and it came out awesome. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I made that. But anyway, she loved it, and she gave it to her daughter early because it was a birthday present. But she was so excited, she gave it to her early, and I asked her if she would send me a picture, with the child in it, so I could, see. And she did, and she said I could put it on my Facebook and everything, and on my website. So I will insert the picture of the first mermaid tail I made with the child, and it's the picture of her in it, and I'll insert it here. Doesn't she look awesome? Her and her kitty cat. But so that was the first thing I made with the Bernat. Not the very first thing, but the thing that really got me started on them was that. And so this is what the yarn looks like. Oh, I'm gonna interject. Just, y'all see my nails? I got them done yesterday. Aren't they pretty? Yay! I know I was torturing y'all in the last few videos with my nails. But yeah, I love getting my nails done. And I wish I grew nails like Amanda from Happy to Hook, with her and her mom. Her nails are real. Actually, she grew them. And they're long. I mean, they're longer than these, and and she grew them herself. I wish I could do that, but mine don't. No, they don't do that. So I got mine done, and hopefully that'll help. Watching, because I enjoy them myself. But okay, now back to crochet. Oh, and I have a question. Anyone who has long nails, how does that affect your crocheting or knitting or crafting? Do you have issues with it, or you have to wait till you clip them and then work on projects? Or because I've seen some people like tutorials from Ruby Stedman, and sometimes her nails are long, but she gets going. It don't stop her at all. I can't have mine too long. This is the longest I can do and still doesn't mess with my crocheting. So let me know, and I'll check out your comments. Okay, I'm gonna put this down. Okay, the first one I'm gonna show you is, I showed their mother the mermaid tail. And once she asked her daughter what she wanted, and she just told me what she wanted, because she didn't want the mermaid tail itself. She wanted one representing with the horses and theme. And so I designed it myself, because I was making up what I thought it should look like and what should be on it. And she just told me, like, actually the general color, one of the colors. And so I picked out the yarn and everything, and this is what I came up with. Now I designed the shape of it and everything, because the mermaid tail shape of the sack wasn't what I wanted, exactly what I wanted for her. So I wanted it to be shaped like, at the end of horse races, they win that cup. I wanted it shaped like that. So I had to make it and design it as I went. So this is what I came up with. Now, you probably won't be able to see the whole thing because of the frame. So I'm gonna insert pictures after each item, so you can see what it looks like laid out, and with the child using it, because they let me take pictures of them using the sacks too. So this is the first one. This is the horse themed one. And let me get it off. I'm gonna start from the bottom and I'll work my way up. Okay. Okay, here's the bottom of it. And then I'm trying to roll it down, and I got her name on it, which is Olivia. And then here comes the horse. Let me pull this hair up here. This is the horse I made. She's even braided the hair. Isn't that cute? She braided the hair. And here's his little ears. And she has a horse because she does she's like the real deal. An equestrian. She has competitions, and she has all these ribbons that she's won. So she's like serious about horses. So she has a horse. So I try to make it look like her horse as much as possible. The colors anyway, and like the stripe down the nose is this color and everything. So I think it came out pretty good for somebody, first time ever in my life making something like this. And this horse's head, I went to find a tutorial, of course, but I couldn't find any. Couldn't find hardly any. And the one I did find, the face of the horse was more like the character on Toy Story, the horse. And you know how it's kind of like squared off and more cartoony looking. That's hers. Like it was wonderful. It was a beautiful piece that she was making, but that just isn't what I needed. So what I did was I found a picture, just regular pictures of someone who crocheted horses. They didn't have a pattern, but they had just a picture of what they had made, and so I used that as a guide. So I kind of looked at the shape and I just figured up how many rows I needed, and I counted, and I was like trying to figure it out. But so I got the general shape of it, and then I put everything else. And the ears and the eyes did come from that lady's pattern. Well, actually, yeah, like the little dots. And I made up this myself because I like this better, how the eyes were set in. I did that. And I used the general pattern of her ears, but I still changed it a little bit. But anyway, so this is the horse. Oh, let me get to the top part. And then I came on up, and this is the top part. Okay, now, this stitch here, I went through and was trying to figure out how to end it to make it, look really cute. And see how it looks like the top of the, like a crown. And this pattern is called Fanciful Fences. Because horses, and they jump the fit, I'm trying to keep the theme going. And I thought it was cute. So I added all that in together and came up with her, and I put her name on it, got each letter. And I went to tutorial and I made the letters. I'll look up the name of the person who I did the letters with, and put that across the screen. But that was my second one that I did. Okay, so all right, and I'll put a picture right here of her using it. All right, now then the next one, because she has 3 kids. Excuse me. So she asked her son, the youngest son, what if he wanted one, and what we wanted. So me and him talked, and he's like, he loves sports, and so he wanted a football shaped one. So now this one is not Bernat blanket yarn. I wanted it to be, but they didn't have a nice dark brown. They had like a light brown or fadey looking brown, but I wanted it to be really dark for like a football. So I just used some different yarn. It might still be Bernat brand, but not the blanket yarn. And so this one is shaped like a football, starting at the bottom. And it's shaped like a football, got the little white lines in it. I think the white is just 2 strands of Red Heart Super Saver, and then I think I did half double crochets, still using the big needle, and then I put the white, football marks down the middle, and then I put his name across it, and I came on down, and I put the top stitch I did this way. Back post, front post, to give it some texture and a little different at the top. I thought that was a nice touch, you know, something a little different. So that was the football. And I'll insert his picture there, right there, so you can see that. Okay, now, let's see. Next, so that was 10. Oh, then I did do the next son, the oldest son. I did his next. But I have a little story to go with that one, so I'm going to do that last. Okay, so I'm going to skip to the mother. She wanted one because she loved theirs so much. She really wanted one for herself. So, okay, so she just told me, you know, what color she wanted. And then I had to design that one, you know, figure out how I wanted to do it. So she wanted white and then some light blue and grays was what she gave me. And at the time she had two little birds, a bankster. Y'all hear Banks? He wants my yarn, y'all. She has two birds, and at that time one of them had passed away. So she wanted the colors that were on the birds to represent on the blanket, like a memory thing, you know, for the one that had passed away. So this is the colors that I came up with, and the stitch I decided to use, I think I just really love this stitch. So this is the bottom of it. This is the bottom. So it's the blue, grays, and the whites in the bonnet. And the wave stitch. So I did it at the very bottom, and then I went to the white. And then I made an applique of the bird. So this is the birdie, see his eyes and his beak, and it's sitting on the flowers that I put across there. I got the patterns, of course, from YouTube tutorials. This little birdie. And then it goes white on the rest of the way up until you get to the top. Then it comes back to the wave stitch. And then at the top, I put some fun fur in the gray to give it a texture, a little something different. I thought that was really, I like that. And she really, really loved it. So I'm glad she, you know, she liked it. And then it gave her memory of her little birdie. And then the second one ended up passing away a little while after that. So she really is glad, you know, she has a little memory blanket. And then also on this one, like the other ones are the younger kids, theirs is like a sleeping bag. It's like around in a circle, you get in. But, you know, us older folks, don't tell her I said that. We don't have to be getting in, scooting in it. So the back is open. So I'll show you. The back is different. This is the bottom. See, that's where I shut, and I put the seam on the outside. I thought that was something. I thought it was cute being on the outside. And then so it's open. So you put your feet in this section, and then the rest, you just put it around you. So you're sitting, and you just wrap it around you. Put your feet in the bottom. And so I thought that was a beautiful pattern. Now this is the pattern I'm going to be using for that yarn I showed you in my yarn haul. The blue, purple, and the white. It's going to be in this format. Okay, so that one is hers. Now, the oldest child, he's the one who's going to be 16 soon. Oh, goodness gracious. He's also into sports. Sorry, I hit the camera. And he likes the Washington Nationals baseball. So that's what he wanted his to be, the colors, you know, red, white, and the blue, and the theme of the Washington Nationals baseball team. Baseball, yeah. So I did his sack the same shape, the same as his mom's, because his was first. but that's the shape because he's tall. He's as tall as she is. So at the bottom, we put your feet in and the back is open. And so here's the big bottom of it. It's in the red. And you come down, as you come up, I mean, I made it like a baseball right here. And then you keep on going up, and it's all red until you get to the top. And then I got white. And then I have a symbol on the front that looks like the Washington Nationals theme. But the reason I haven't showed it to you yet, because there's a story behind this. Okay, because here, you know, where I'm working, they have a dog. Y'all know Banks, the chewy doggy Banks. Well, they also have 2 bunnies. And the bunnies are really kind of like, are his because they're in his room and everything. And I think for his birthday, they got the bunnies. Anyway, so the bunnies stay in his room. And, you know, I didn't know that bunnies are just almost like puppies. They like to chew on everything. They chew everything. So, I think you know where I'm going. This blanket, and they didn't really know, they'd never had bunnies before, but they knew they had to make sure, you know, certain things, but who would have thought a blanket? But anyway, the bunnies had a little party with his blanket that I made, his sleep sack that I made. So I'm gonna show y'all what them bunnies did. Well, this is the first part of it I'm gonna show you. Well, first I'll show you the symbol. This is the symbol of the Washington Nationals that I made. And I put the letter on and put it on there and everything. So I thought it was kind of cool. And I put his name on it and everything. Well, this is what the bunnies did. See, there's a letter right here. And it's gone and kind of chewed. And these letters are a bit chewed. The bunnies had a little bunny party. But that's not all. Look at that. The bunnies just had a good old time, didn't they? I don't think I can repair that. But lesson learned, I guess. So, I was like, oh my goodness. But anyway, my next blanket I'm gonna show you is mine. It's one I made for myself. You know, I love my purples and everything, purple and gray. Actually, the picture that I use at the beginning of almost all my videos, that's the blanket that I made. And it is mostly Bernat blanket yarn. I couldn't find the color that I wanted in that yarn, so I had to go get something else, and I put them together. But that yarn is not exactly, well, I'll show you. I'm not really happy with the yarn that I mixed it with. So I'm gonna make me another one, you know, find the colors I really want, and make me another one in just all Bernat blanket yarn. But I'm not giving this one up now. This is my traveling one. This is the one I take with me when I come out of town. So I'm on the road a lot. So this will be my traveling blanket, and I'll make me a new one that stays home. But so this is the one y'all see at the beginning of my videos. I'll start at the bottom. The bottom. Well, I guess it's nothing on it, just the colors. Y'all seen it every time you cut on the video. And so this is what it looks like. Get to the top. Oh. And this is the top. Okay, so I'll explain about the yarn. Like this top is Bernat blanket yarn. This is good. But this variegated purpley, gray, and white, that's all together, that's a variegated yarn. But, let me see. Oh, I have two different kinds of the same brand I'm gonna tell you about. One of it is gray and white, and the other is variegated. That's the brand. And this is the gray and white. Now, I love the color of it, but can y'all see the, I guess, halos or whatever, all that's coming off of it? Just looks really, in person, it just looks really bad. And I don't know if you can see how well, there you go, you can see all that. And it wouldn't be too bad if that was all. If that was just the way it looked, you know, that's whatever. But it peels so bad. I mean, it's like, you know where I've been, because there's a trail, wherever this blanket was, it's a trail on the floor of these balls of these little things all over the floor, wherever I'm at. So, and the more I wash it, of course, the worse it gets, the look of it. Now, it has finally stopped peeling to where there's balls all over the place, but it looks really, I don't know. I just rather it not be that ain't right there. So, and see the Bernat, there ain't just none of that. It's like still just as smooth as it was. And it washes up awesome. This blanket yarn washes wonderfully. I wash it on warm water and I dry it. You can dry it completely and it still does fine. Sometimes I wash it and then put it in the dryer just for a little bit and then lay it out. But either way, and it's completely dried, it's the same thing, so that's fine. But this yarn, the one I was talking about, I can't remember the names of it, but it was from AC Moore. It's their brand, the Nicole Stitch and something. I can't remember the name of it. But all of their yarn isn't like that, because I've used some of their others. It's just this particular one, this kind, but I can't remember what it is. And it would be okay if for something that you aren't going to use a lot, like something that you're just decorating with, and you're not going to wash it a lot, or you're not going to use it. It's just going to be there for prettiness. But, you know, I drag this blanket around because I'm in the car all the time, on the road all the time. And I feel like I'm, you know, Linus from the Charlie Brown, because I drag it like I'm dragging my blankie with me. And I'm like serious. And so it's going to be washed a lot. So that yarn right there is not, no. But the Bernat is awesome. I've washed and it's just as good as it did, you know, from the beginning. Oh, and then just one other tip that other people have told, but with any yarn is, let me see if I can show you, y'all can see what I'm going to say. Can you see that purple is not the same as this purple? Because I ran out and I went back to, I'll just grab another purple one. And I grabbed one and this is what it was, which is beautiful, but it's just not the same as this. So if you can, at all possible, try to buy it as what you need all together at once. Because when you go back, either, I just thought that was the same purple. I wasn't even thinking. I just said, oh, there's purple, and I grabbed it. And then sometimes they don't have the exact same one. I mean, in any yarn. So that's just a tip. Just try to buy as much as you can. You can always exchange it or keep a receipt and get something else if you get, you know, too much. But who takes back yarn? I'm just kidding, but that usually happens to me. I say, well, I'll just take this back, but I'll end up keeping it and just buying some more and just use that for something else. Because, you know, that's what we do as yarn addicts, you know. But anyway, so this is my blankie, the famous one at the beginning of each scene that y'all see. And I think that's all I have right here to show you in the Bernat blanket yarn. Oh, but I did want to tell you, I found a YouTuber, her podcast is called Old Soul Crocheter, and she uses Bernat blanket yarn, but she does it for let me say it right. Armagru, Armagretti, Armagretti, Armagrumi, Armagrumi. And she makes the most awesome animals. She has like an owl and a bunny and I'm on episode like 11, and so I'm binge watching her now because she was recommended by, who was it? Oh, I can't remember. I was watching someone and they recommended her, and I went to her channel, and I just fell in love. I was commenting to her, and this stuff was beautiful. So, I mean, like by the second episode, I was like, I texted her. I commented to her that if she ever needed a tester, I would love to be a tester. And so she got my message, and she had replied and said, "Are you for real?" I said, "Yes." So I believe she's going to let me do a test one of her patterns when she's maybe the next one that's coming. It might be a little while. I'm not sure when it's going to be, but I will let you all know how it turns out. What I'm assuming I can show it to you. I have to find all that out because I've never been a pattern tester before. And but she uses the Bernat blanket yarn, and she makes these awesome animals. It's just like amazing. So y'all check her out. Old Soul Crochet. It's just, her name is, I think it's Valerie. Is it Valerie? Anyway, I can't remember right this second. But check her out. She's awesome. But, well, all right, ladies. Thank you for joining me and listening to all my antics. And I'm going to get here because, y'all heard the dog earlier. He was making noises because that's my signal for pay attention to me. So I have to go talk to Banks. And I will check you all out later. And y'all have a blessed day.